I like the color. And I like the collar because if you listen to the Happier in Hollywood episode, you know that wearing a collar is a good idea because of the framing of your face. But I'm thinking it's a lot of pattern. So weigh in too much pattern or okay pattern. Someone says, I know you love Laura Ingalls Wilder. The situation makes me think of The Long Winter. It's so funny that you say that. I have been absolutely channeling The Long Winter to the point where I'm often kind of surprised and relieved that the electricity works or that the water is running. Because I'm like, how is it that we still have running water? This is amazing. Yes, reading The Long Winter is a great preparation for life because you're just like, nothing's that bad. Yes, give us a thumbs up if this is making you think of Laura Ingalls Wilder. I mean, they have, if you really think about it, it's about a family hunkered down. There's the time when Pa gets lost on, I believe he was on the banks of Plum Creek, in the snow for 3 days, even though he was right near their log cabin. There's a lot of times when they're at home, but nothing is as cozy as Little House in the Big Woods, where they're like playing in the attic with all the stores of food. It just makes me so happy to think about it. I basically reread all the Laura Ingalls Wilder books. So I think Alyssa's having trouble joining. I'll just look and see. Oh, Central California. Let's see. I wore a denim shirt today. Well done. Gold star for you. You did that right away. Yes, I had meetings all day and I stepped my game up. Excellent. Gold star. Oh, I love your quote above your head. Can you see it? I can't see. Yes, it's the days are long, but the years are short. That's like, of everything that I've ever written, I think that's the thing maybe that's resonated with people the most. I did a little video. If you've never seen this video, I'll try to put a link to it in the comments, or just go to my site and type in "The days are long, but the years are short." It's this really short video that I did back when my daughter, who's now a junior in college, was still in preschool, and we took the bus together every day. And I think of everything I've ever written, I think that may be something that really resonates. Wore a denim shirt today. Oh my gosh, all these people really did it. Alyssa and I didn't have denim shirts, so we had to buy them. Alyssa frequently had trouble joining. Perhaps the clocks are a few minutes behind. No, it's not that. It's that she's been having a lot of internet problems, and I think they're actually going to change their internet provider, which is one of these things where I'm like, that's like changing the force of gravity. But they have a lot of technical issues, and it's not helped by the fact that everybody's using the internet at the same time. So it's not Elizabeth is, I'm sure, she's on her end. But today's Ask Us Anything, so while we're waiting for her to get it to work, go ahead and put your questions in the comments. And I have a question for you, which is, have you read anything great lately? Because I have a huge stack of books that I'm so excited to read, and it just makes me realize, I had all this kind of research reading that I needed to read, and so I was really slowing down, and now I'm letting myself read all these books that I want to read, and I'm picking back up. So I would love to get more suggestions. What can I do to avoid anticipatory anxiety relating to job applications? Wow, that is really tough. Maybe I wrote a post called how to invest in your work future during this time, and you might look there because I had a lot of suggestions about things that we can do right now. One of the things we talk a lot about on the Happier podcast is that action is the antidote to anxiety. And so instead of sort of feeling like, well, this is this thing that's looming in the future and I'm very anxious about it, maybe there's things you can do right now to start preparing yourself, whether that's like updating your resume or your bio, or thinking through if somebody said to you, well, what are your duties? What are your accomplishments? What are your skills? Do you have a list of that in your head? Are there skills you could gain? Are there courses you could take that would make you a stronger job candidate? If anybody has any great suggestions, this is going to be a huge question for so many people in this country and around the world. So if you have any suggestions, if you're going through this yourself and you found any strategies or solutions that work for you. In the most recent episode of the Happier podcast, we were talking about uncertainty in children, and Elizabeth Schwartz suggested something that I thought was really helpful, which is to make a flow chart. If A happens, then this. If B happens, then that. If C happens, then that. And that might help too in this situation. Like if I did this, I would do this. If I would do this, I would do this. Here she goes. Hang on. There we go. How can obligers be forced to get moving at home when paralyzed? Oh, hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I had a Zoom meeting,
Oh,
working as I am, and
yeah.
sometimes
Okay, good. I was afraid it
things.
was your technology, but that's good. So you'll see that I wore a purple collared shirt,
Oh,
but
and I have a new.
I've asked people to weigh in on whether it's too much pattern. What do you think? Too much
I
pattern
love
or,
it.
oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah,
Now, how about
I'm
you with,
also wearing
yes.
a patterned. I was worried mine looked too much like a pajama top.
I don't think so. What do people think? Pajama top? No pajama top. I think it looks great. It's kind of got a little bit of style. Somebody says nice shirt, Liz.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so that's good. I love a nice pattern. It is nice to have a little bit of, oh, Elizabeth, people are weighing in. Love the green, love the
Oh, good.
pattern. So I think you got the thumbs up.
All right, good.
Uh,
I love your shirt.
you don't
Is
think it's
that
too
new?
much?
Not at
No,
all.
it's like 8 years old.
I
Oh,
love
but
it.
it's got these cuffs that are different, which
Oh,
which
pretty.
is neat.
I love it.
Yeah, I think Mom probably bought it for me. Um, so ask us anything. Yeah, someone says not PJs, very cute. So see, we upped our game. I asked people if they upped their game, and it seems like a lot of people really met that challenge. And people were saying that they wore denim shirts. They had them, and they already have worn them. They fixed their light. So that is so someone says, oh no, the piping around the collar makes it look dressier. See, it is those little touches.
That's what I was going for, is dressier than just like a plaid flannel.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe, oh yeah, love the cuffs. I think it is, you kind of need those touches to give it a little bit of an edge, because that's the thing, is you want to be inconspicuous and yet highly distinctive and full of fun. So anyway, it seems like people got into it. Someone says I bought the pink aviators. That was the glasses.
Yes,
Caddis.
Allison mentioned.
Okay, weird though. I go onto the internet today, and what pops up?
Pink aviators.
Caddis.
Oh,
like, I have not typed those words in anywhere. It's creepy.
They can hear you.
They can hear you. Anyway. So ask us anything. If you have any questions, ask us. We love questions. Oh, someone says, how do you check in on a friend without it being too much, as they are anxious in this time? I think it just depends on the friend, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've been, some people, like, you just text them and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you, and sending love, like call if you feel like talking.
Yes.
Or let me know if you want to set up a FaceTime.
So somebody pointed out to me that the lowest form of connection is one person texts, hey, I'm thinking of you, hope everything is great, and the person just does the heart thing on that comment. So they're not even generating their own comment, they just heart it. But I have a friend who's a doctor who's just like working all the time, and I'm like, that's all she can do, to just be like, thanks, man.
Yes.
And it's like, but I bet to her it was really nice to get that text.
Yes.
So I think
someone's asking if Zoom should be as formal as a regular business meeting. Well, this is a big topic of conversation. My theory is no, it just feels odd. So that's why we're kind of figuring out what should you wear.
Yes.
And apparently collared shirts are a good thing to wear, which is why we both have on collared shirts.
Right. Well, this is from the Happier in Hollywood most recent episode, where you had that a costume designer talking about like how to do it. How can two questioners who are married to one another deal with the inevitable questions the other one has when a decision is being made? This is very common because I have two close friends who are both questioners married to questioners. And this has good strengths and weaknesses. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go to quiz.gretchenrubin.com, because there you can find out if you're an upholder, a questioner, obliger, rebel, and you'll know what you are and what other people are. But two questions. So the problem with two questioners is that you can have analysis paralysis. So I knew two questioners where they needed to get a new dishwasher, but it was like every time somebody was like, what about this dishwasher? Somebody's like, well, what about this? And what about this? And maybe we should redo the countertops too. And it just spiraled out of control. If you're running into analysis paralysis because of the two of you constantly questioning, you can use deadlines. Like, we need to make a decision. We're going to have a dinner party in 2 weeks. We have to decide by then. You can limit We're going to look at 5 stores, but not 10 stores. You can use a trusted authority. We trust this other family. If their kid went to that summer camp and loved that summer camp, we can really be guided by their judgment. We don't have to like start from zero ourselves. You can also, but it can be hard where one person doesn't trust the other one. And I think this is where you just sort of have to use and you have to remember that questioners don't like being questioned. That's the irony of it. And yet questioners will ask questions. So you have to remember that whoever is making the decision, you've got both of those aspects of questioner represented. One person doesn't feel like they want to have to take the time to justify. The other person maybe needs to feel like they have their answers prepared. But this brings me to the strength. And I know 2 other questioners where one questioner said to me, it's such a relief to me to be married to my husband who's a questioner, because I really trust his decisions, because I know that he's thorough the way I would be thorough. And so instead of having to constantly do the work myself or constantly having to second guess him, I know that he will do it up to what I consider to be the necessary standard. So that means that I can just relax and let him take care of his, like when he's making a decision, I can let him handle it. So this is again a form of trusted authority. Can you say to yourself, look, my spouse doesn't want to take me through it. I get it as a questioner that can be annoying. I would like to have a long discussion about every aspect of this decision, but maybe I just need to trust that this person has done the work, and let them do it, because it can be tricky. It can be tricky.
We got some great questions coming in, Gretch. Someone's asking, is it okay to take a personal day even though I'm working at home? I think absolutely.
100%.
I mean, now, there's so much Zoom fatigue we've been talking about. There's a lot of stuff going on with kids and spouses. So 100%, I think a personal day.
Well, and you're working. So,
Someone else was asking about ideas for Zoom birthday parties. And I wanted to mention a couple of ideas. One, I think we talked about this, I think on Happier, about doing a paperless post for the birthday. So actually send an invitation and paperless posts, and I'm sure the others as well are actually like you can put the Zoom link into the invitation and make a fun invitation.
So fun.
Also, I was at a Zoom birthday party where one of the hosts made a collage, like a picture collage of the honoree, and then sent it to everyone, and we all put it as our Zoom background.
That's cute.
So that was fun. And of course you can have people wear a hat or, something fun like that.
Well,
so
and somebody was telling me that her parents planned a surprise party for her. So they had her enter late. So everybody was already there, but also everybody like hid. So it really was like she was looking at all the, all these empty with no people. And it was just like, here's a bookcase, here's somebody's closet door. And she's like, what's going on? And then everybody on cue went, surprise.
That's so cute.
I thought that was really cute. People are so creative.
Idea.
Yeah. People are so creative. I guess you'd have to really have it be at 4:10 exactly, on this second, do it so everybody pops up. And if you have other ideas, put them in the comments, because this is a place where people are being so. Oh, and I loved in that paperless post, Alyssa, that said, let's party like it's March 12th, 2020. It took me a minute to figure out, I have to say.
That cracks me up.
So people are coming up with such great ideas. So share them, because we can all learn. Oh, here's another tendencies question. How do I help my sister understand that my dad is a questioner who asks questions when problem solving, but not to question her ability, but just as his thinking process? She takes questions so personally. This is a huge issue. And it's a huge problem for questioner children who seem disrespectful to teachers. It's a huge problem for questioner adults who will seem disrespectful to a boss, or they don't trust their judgment, or their undermining of their authority because they're constantly asking questions. So it is something that questioners need to learn, which is how do you ask questions in a way that seems constructive. People will often say, I feel like I'm on the witness stand. I feel like a journalist is like doing a story. So maybe the person to talk to is your dad. And to say, this is really making her feel very defensive and very kind of attacked. You don't mean it that way, but this is how she's perceiving it. And then for her to just sort of say to her, this is a thing that many people complain about questioners about. This is just like an aspect of the questioner tendency that other people also feel. Your father is doing something that many questioners do, and many people respond the way your sister do, and it's just, and maybe that makes it feel less like a personal attack and more just like sort of an annoying aspect of human nature. Just like my husband's a questioner who won't answer questions. It's deeply annoying, but I don't take it personally anymore. And so I don't get worked up. I'm just like,
Someone's saying they're a questioner and they process outwardly a lot. So that's interesting. If you can tell your sister this is part of dad just processing.
Yes, that's a great way to think about it. I think that's super, super helpful. If there are any other questioners, weigh in. Or if you've solved this problem with a questioner, if you found the language to explain to a questioner how to understand it. But I do think like we have to understand that is like when questioners are like, why did you pick an Italian restaurant? They literally mean, why did you pick an Italian restaurant? Yeah, they're not passive aggressively saying, why aren't we going to a Chinese restaurant? Yeah.
A lot of people are asking about masks, where we're getting them, etc. And there is, I know on Happier in Hollywood, we talked about a mask place and we linked to it on happierhinhollywood.com in our last episode. Check that out. But Gretchen, I don't know about you, but I am ordering just an assortment of masks to see what works the best for me.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to report, where we found ones that have been Adam's favorite. Made in KC. There's a store in Kansas City called Made in KC on the plaza for anyone who's from Kansas City. And everything in the store is made in Kansas City. And you can order masks from them. So those are our favorite masks.
That's good. That's
and
good.
People are saying, are you being fashionable? I am not trying to, at this point in my life, match masks to my outfit. I guess it could happen at some point.
No, I mean, that is beyond my grasp.
But it will people will do it. That's for sure.
Well, it was interesting in that interview that she seemed so, like when Sarah said, how is this going to affect fashion? I thought it was going to be much more like, what's the future of retail? And she was literally like, oh, I think gloves are going to become a thing. And I was like,
yes.
What?
Yes, that was so interesting.
Yeah, so I think, back to the questioner says somebody, I can so relate. Yes, it's not criticism, but honestly wanting to know. Yeah, it sounds like maybe what they need to do is just sit down and talk about this dynamic in a way that's sort of like, this is what's happening. This is where we're both coming from. Someone says, have you read any good books lately? Elizabeth, have you read any good books?
I'm reading, this is a good time to mention our Insta Live book group, which we are reading Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris. So I'm listening to that. And I am reading still The Sweeney Sisters by Leon Dolan, who's one of the Satellite Sisters. That's what I'm reading in a book, and I'm listening to David Sedaris. How about you?
Well, if you're just joining, I'm Gretchen Rubin. This is Elizabeth Craft. We are the hosts of the Happier with Gretchen Rubin podcast. And today is Friday, so it's Ask Us Anything. And the question on the table is, have we read anything good lately? Well, I'm really excited because I read this, I've talked about it before, Exhalations by Ted Chiang. It's science fiction short stories, and usually I don't like short stories, but I'm so excited. And now I have his second book, which is called The Story of Your Life. And so I'm super excited about that. And I got Circe, and I saw somebody mention that in the comments. Yeah. I got that. I'm really excited to start that. So I feel
Gretchen, I have Circe literally like in my grasp here, sitting right next to me.
Okay.
So maybe I'll read that after I finish Leon's book, which I am enjoying immensely because it's a palate cleanser for our times.
Somebody said I'm reading Outer Order Inner Calm. Thank you. Gold star to you. Yes, gold star to anybody who's reading one of my books or one of Elizabeth's books. Yes. Many people seem to be reading The Happiness Project. I feel like I thought, and also Happier at Home. It's fun. It's always fun for me to see who's like what email and kind of social media stuff I get, because I can sort of see patterns. It's fun.
Gretchen, someone was asking how long we're going to be doing these for, and we really don't know. I mean, we know we're doing them through May 21st because that's our book club date that we've announced. But I think, I don't know. That's a good question. A while, I think.
Yes, I think it's just related to the general uncertainty. And it's funny because I don't feel like there's going to be like a day where it's like, and everything happens at once. It's going to be a slow process. So, Yeah. And it's also kind of the evolution of your job and my job and all this
Yes.
stuff, but we're certainly doing it now.
Here's a question I have for people watching this. Is this something we should do like just once a week?
Yeah.
You know,
that's a good question.
You know,
yes.
like,
is it worth keeping up? Because we started this because we felt like people would have a special need for connection, and it turns out we're the ones that need the connection.
So much out of it.
But yeah, maybe it would be fun to keep it up. And so somebody's question: are you still walking as much with the mask as before? Yeah, I am. It doesn't bother me that much. I thought that it might a lot, but I get used to it pretty quickly once it's on for a few seconds. So yeah, I'm still doing a lot of walking. Central Park is so absolutely stunningly beautiful now. That's cool. Except it's weirdly cold here. Give us a thumbs up if it's weirdly cold where you are. I think some people are going to get snow.
Oh wow! No, it's hot here. It's in the 90s.
Oh, is it?
Gretchen, talk about like a first world problem. We had our pool heater was broken, and it's now fixed, and so we went in the hot tub last night for the first time since this safer at home. So that we almost felt like it was like, not quarantined. Like it was so different from anything we've done. It just felt like a totally different thing. So that was great.
Oh, that's nice. Well, it's good because maybe you're feeling stale. How many people are feeling a little bit stale? Because there is sort of this feeling of like it's been going on. And I think, there was sort of the inertia. I feel like staleness is a little bit different. Yes. It's just sort of like, I want something to kind of shake
It's like I've binged everything I want to binge. Like you're just tired of binging. Even if there's stuff you in theory want to watch, you're just tired of watching TV, because you've done it so much, or you're just tired of cooking. I mean, I think people are very tired of cooking. Yeah. Or you're just tired of your family members.
Right. What's interesting, because one of the things that I'm curious about is, someone says we ate dinner in a different part of the backyard to mix things up. See, I think that's a great idea. Doing something like that, or like, have a picnic, or like set up a tent in the backyard, or everybody sleep in the living room if you have little kids, or, anything to just kind of make it different. I think is a good idea. One of the things that's interesting for us is I'm going to be curious to see how Eliza feels once school's done, because she's in her exam period now. Yeah. She took an exam today, gold star to Eliza. Felt really good about it. And also it is not graded. It's basically satisfactory, unsatisfactory.
That takes the pressure off.
Takes a little bit of the pressure off. But so in a way, it'll be nice, like, not to have to worry about that. But then I feel like she's going to feel like she's lost that connection to school. Like, I think it is important. Yeah. But then I was thinking, well, maybe it'll be good because it will just feel different. Like the whole shape of her day and her week has been so dependent on that. And, hopefully something will fill that up in the summer. But at least for kind of a couple weeks, it's not clear what that's going to be. And I thought, well, maybe we prefer to have it just be different. Yeah.
Gretchen, someone in the comments said they're loving The Stranger on Netflix, and that is our friend Harlan Coben's show based on his book.
Our whole family watched it. It's very bingeable. It's very bingeable.
So anyway, love Harlan.
Somebody says, I just found Martha Stewart's complete guide to COVID etiquette. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm going to look that up. That sounds very useful.
Yeah.
I heard that Martha Stewart her gardener was quarantining with her.
Oh, really? Yes, I saw that. Someone said, yes, I'm tired of TV. I bought a book on learning to crochet, which just arrived today. Something I did a bit with my grandma as a child. So I'm looking forward to relearning it. I think that's such a great idea to learn something new at this time. If you're just joining us, I'm Gretchen Rubin. This is Elizabeth Kraft. We're the hosts of the Happier with Gretchen Rubin podcast. And this is Friday, which means it's Ask Us Anything. So you can ask anything. Somebody says, yes, the Martha Stewart etiquette guide is online. Oh, so that's great. Oh, unorthodox. Somebody's saying it's great.
Yeah, that's great.
No, but a friend of mine was saying how her son wants to learn screenwriting. And so he's like taking masterclass or, one of these. And I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. Like, like something specific and kind of that you want. and that needs a lot of time and reflection. And like, that's the perfect kind of thing for right now.
Yeah, Gretchen, on my COVID-19 list, I had watching Judy Blume's master class. Have I done it yet? No, I have not. So
okay. So here's a question for people. If you were, I'm not saying you're committed to taking this class. So this is like an element, this is like a fantasy question. In your fantasy, if you could take a class in anything, what class would you take? So listen, if you would take Judy Blume's writing class, would you take a crochet class so you would learn how to crochet? Would you take an instrument? Would you brush up on your French? Would you like learn some kind of technical thing like how to build a website, or, you know, like, I feel like if I learned how to use Photoshop, it would consume me alive. I feel like the creativity that a person could do would kind of swamp me. So would you take an art history class?
Someone says guitar lessons, painting, drawing.
A friend of mine, her son wanted to learn guitar, and she said, you cannot buy a guitar. It's like the yeast of hobbies.
So yes, I mean, it's just interesting what people are gravitating to right
ukulele. Now. I did not have, as anybody who came to our live shows know, I did not have the greatest luck with the ukulele, but people love it. And it is a cute instrument. And I think that the right person could learn how to do it pretty well. Spanish, knitting. Oh, this is fun. Writing, piano. A lot of people wanting to learn piano. Baking.
One thing I'm thinking about doing for Jack when school is over is I saw, friend of a friend of a friend kind of thing, has a son who's offering compute coding lessons. Which I thought is something Jack might enjoy, that, you do the lessons virtually.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. I bet he would love it.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody says the recorder. I love the recorder. When we were in our school, and Elizabeth, I'm sure you remember this, in fourth grade, we had to learn how to play the recorder. And my mother-in-law was like in an adult recorder chorus. It's a really beautiful instrument.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She has all kinds of like odd things that she occasionally drops into conversation, but that's one of them. Yes. She does not fire up a tune much these days, but
Gretch, people are asking what we're doing for Mother's Day. We should take this opportunity to say Happy Mother's Day to our mom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, is our mom watching?
I don't know, but she might watch later. So
yes. Happy
Mother's Day, Mom.
Yes. My family's not that big on making plans particularly, so I'm not sure there's much planned, but
my Adam and I decided that we are gonna, so his parents live like 40 minutes away. We are gonna drive there and drop something off and chat from a distance. We have not done that.
That's a great idea.
So we're gonna do the we won't even like eat or anything. We'll just but we will show our faces to his mom. Good. I think she will love that.
Well, and it's also like an adventure that you'll remember, like, this is what we did on Mother's Day. So that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Yes. And thank
you. All you moms. Happy Mother's Day.
All the mothers in the world. So now it's time for the accountability check-in.
Yes.
So put in the comments. What do you want to be held accountable?
You can see my sleeves, sir.
Oh, ooh, that is good piping. I like that green.
Yeah.
What do you want to be held accountable for? Put it in the comments and we will hold you accountable. And also, what do you get a gold star for? What have you done that you get the gold star for? Gretchen, do you see your in-laws? No, we have not seen our in-laws. So now I'm thinking maybe we could do that. Like maybe they could stand very far away and we haven't. The thing is, I feel like I don't want to, like, I like the clarity of nothing. And since we do live right around the corner, we feel like we see them somehow, even though we don't.
Well, I also think it's a lot harder when you're in an apartment building situation. I mean,
yeah.
We can go and stand on the street and they're,
Yeah, but we can do that on the sidewalk.
Well, that's true.
But I guess I like the clarity of just like the simple rule. But I mean, we could do that. I don't know. I'll suggest that. Yeah, it's funny in a way. The fact that they seem so close makes it seem stranger. But then on the fact that they seem so close makes them feel so far. Like it's like, I mean, it's hard to describe how close our buildings
Oh, wait, Gretchen, I have to shout out a gold star here. Somebody started running during the pandemic and they've gotten up to 7.5 miles.
Oh my gosh.
That's
That double
that just
good.
tells you what you can do, you know.
Oh, somebody's daughter's 18th birthday is today. Oh, happy birthday. That's so wonderful. That's great. Okay, and then the challenge for this weekend. Okay, this is a fun challenge, I think.
Yes.
Nothing is more delightful for me than a before and after. I almost called my book Better Than Before, Before and After. In fact, a lot of the documents related to it are still called Before and After because that was my working title. Any before and after. That's why I love Marie Kondo. That's why I love Can This Marriage Be Saved? Remember from like the old magazine, was it Old Good Housekeeping used to have that column? Like anything where there's a before and after, I love. So the idea is this weekend, pick an area of your apartment or your house that you want to improve in some way. It could be as small as a drawer. It could be a closet. It could be a room. It could be your garage. It could be your backyard, whatever it is. And take a picture of it before and then do something to transform it and then take a picture after. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this is people often say looking at the photograph helps them understand what they want to do to the space. And this is like a way, it gives you distance, a space, because you're so accustomed to it, you sort of don't see it clearly. And for many people, when they see it in the form of a photograph, they register it differently. So it can be really eye-opening to take a picture of a space. And then you get like the visual, Mike, who's my trainer, we do the high intensity weight training. So we're doing it, he's at home and I'm at home. And he showed me this one space and I was like, okay, Mike, I challenge you, deal with it over the weekend. And then he showed me today.
Oh, wow.
And it was so fun. And he's just like, was just beside himself with glee that he created, like got all this floor space. And so
that's fantastic.
It can be, but if you don't want to tackle anything big, it could be a shelf of a medicine cabinet. It could be a sock drawer, but it could also be like your pantry, or it could be, something like a coat closet that is.
Rich, I'm going to choose my bathroom counter,
Okay.
around my sink. Needs some before and after.
Well, one of your things was to use your products that you hadn't been using. So do you have more products out because you've been using all these products?
Yes. And I am trying to use them, but it's like, it's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like you do
if
one
I
challenge.
put it away, I feel like I won't use it, so.
You do one challenge and then it creates another challenge.
Yeah.
Yes, I have an idea in my mind for what I'm going to tackle.
Okay.
I will reveal it on Monday. Let's just say it has to do with pickles.
Oh,
that's
just interesting.
That's just a little foreshadowing.
Okay, that's a tease. Someone's going to do their Tupperware drawer. A lot of people.
The plastic food container is always needs attention, right? Like, why is it? You buy the sets that promise you they will stay organized. They do not stay organized. It's always, they all fall out. It's just, yes. Anyway, someone said, okay, this is great. All right. So have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday at 4. So everybody keep your hands clean and your minds clear. Bye.
Bye.